Back, I'm goody mood, back again, that Friday mood, that happy Friday mood. The Friday mood that says, hey, you can take your shoes off and kick back for a couple of days, my love. Yes, you can, before you're thrown headlong into another week. So here we have, today, the Harry and the Meghan Light are a threat to the royal family as the couple visit anti-Commonwealth being Jamaica. Well, we've been here before, haven't we? But they're all doing it, so I like to copy. I don't like to be left out. You know what I'm like. So I found this and I thought we'd review it together in its total and entire hypocritical insanity. Yes, and delirium. Let's go.
Critics have hit out at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
The Duchess of
after the
Muchness.
couple made a surprise appearance at
Yes.
the premiere for the Bob Marley biopic.
We weren't that much of a surprise because we all knew she was going. But anyway, whatever. Go on, move on.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
No, they didn't make her. They did not make her. As I said yesterday, as soon as she heard the word private, followed by jet, she was like a ferret up a shithouse drain, weren't you, love? Yes, you were. I will let down my people, Evita. Evita, you gotta meet her. Or something or other, I don't know what I'm on about. Don't she? Still a Vita Penuno. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at wonderful, luscious me. Cameras, action. Oh, face the camera. Clickety click click. Don't tell Barry.
They were photographed alongside Jamaican politicians.
They made them. They did make them. They made all of them.
Break away from the Commonwealth and therefore the royal family.
Oh,
So this morning we are asking, do Harry and Meghan pose a threat
of course they
to
do.
the royal family? Well,
They
joining us
pose a
now
threat to everybody they come across, and people that they've never met, and probably undiscovered tribes in the Amazon basin. Something knowing them, Lord, yes.
is Richard Fitzwilliam.
Oh, yes. Here's
royal
Richard
commentator,
Fitzwilliam.
who says that they do.
He's got his
and
pal,
historian
William
Tessa
Fitzrichard.
Dunlop, who says that they don't.
Oh,
Very
stroppy
good morning
Professor
to you
Tessie.
both. And Richard, let's start with you, shall we? So we saw the Duke and Duchess
Professor
of Sussex
Tessa.
at this premiere last night in Jamaica. Do you think this was intentional in
Course,
terms
yeah.
of timing?
Yeah,
Well, I think
definitely.
the Sussexes do absolutely nothing that is not intentional.
No.
I mean, you might not be able to prove it, but
Right.
it just so happens in the week when, as we know, the King...
I don't think we need to prove it, do we? It's like I'm always saying, it's a Bayesian analysis. If there's enough circumstantial evidence pointing in one direction, then it's overwhelmingly obvious that they're guilty as shite.
Operation.
I'm going to do this. I knew it was going to happen because I don't care. It's Friday. I'm going to come off here, take my shoes off and kick back.
Large prostrate. We know Catherine.
Oh, don't say prostrate in front of your old Gert.
Hospital, recovering from abdominal surgery. We also know that Jamaica intends to become a republic that has to have a
Oh,
referendum.
look at me. I'm standing next to an actual black lady. Oh, I don't speak. What is it they speak? Uluwu or something is it there? I don't know, but I'll just stand next to her because, look, I've got a bin liner. Lord, look at me. I told you yesterday. She went past, they said it was Catherine Herrera. No less, Futufers, I'll have you know, yes. But me thinketh that what actually happened was she went past Catherine Herrera's shop. And you know, like when they leave bags of clothes outside, do you get me, like a charity or something? Yeah. She nicked the bag. Yes! She thought it's black. I'm in. There we go. Look at me.
Before this actually happened. So far as this is concerned,
Harry
the
doing?
Sussexes, they pose a threat to
She's
the
not
royal
made of glass, Harry. Even though she might make out she is. She's like a bleeding... Well, as your dad famously called her, tungsten, not glass, love. Go on.
family. If they are not
We
in
are
work, which at the
family.
moment they don't seem to be, and also they are deeply, and they
I've
made
got
this
Big
clear,
Doris
they
with
made
me.
it clear in South Africa in 2019, they made it
Yeah.
clear on Oprah.
How well did that go in South Africa in 2019? She went there and grizzled about what sad life she had to people. Well, there were women recovering from the RAPE words. Yes. Oh, but don't. We're all crying for the Marklets. Oh,
And they
dear.
made it clear in that Harry and Meghan Netflix docu-series, and they
Netflix.
also made it clear in Harry's memoir Spare, which was most unfortunate.
Oh, they're
that
the
they are
most-
deeply
Oh,
bitter.
they're the most unhappy, hardly put upon people in the whole universe. Food soup. I'm broken-hearted. I can't stand up. Oh, the poor Marklets. It's just terrible the way they're
They
treated.
don't have work, and they don't seem to have very much work to
No,
me.
they're what working class people would call dolasses or dossers, my dear. But anyway, because they're sort of upper class and so are you, muggy little snobs, you're going to steer clear of saying a spade is a spade. Yeah, especially because they're in Jamaica and you know what I mean. So they're dull-asses and they're dossers, yes.
The Hollywood Reporter called them losers.
Grifters,
Then they are a
losers,
threat, because the only
yeah.
way they can get money is by trashing the royal family, which is what they've done.
Tessa Dunlop, are they trashing the royal family by
It's Professor Tessa. Come on, Professor Tessa.
meeting these politicians?
Right?
Morning. I
Morning.
feel my dear friend Richard has perhaps rather overstated or overplayed his hand. No, I
He's
don't
over-egged it, you know, my dear. He has rather over-egged it, but I do fear you're going to over-egg it also, darling, aren't you?
think they really
But
do
it's
anything.
Friday, so do carry on.
We're invited to Jamaica to
Jamaica?
a significant premiere. I think
That's a slur. Nobody made her. She went of her own bleeding accord, and we all know it. We've all seen the bleeding footage, so don't you start. Oh, no. Come on.
too, wouldn't you?
Professor Tessa.
The bigger issue, and it's almost like Britain at the moment.
That's an idea. She could sell the big issue. She's just hit on it, isn't she, Professor Tessa? She could sell the big bleeding issue. In fact, they both could. You know, the big issue that William's always going on about? Yes, they sell it for the homeless people, don't they? Yeah. Oh, no. Hang on a minute. Have you seen what's going on the screen? Can you see? Stink eye at the prayers. Hello, prayers. Is it prayers? Oh, Prime Minister. Hello, Prime Minister. Look at me. I'm here. I'm black like you. I am. Look at me. I'm Nigerian or something or other. Go on.
With regards to Harry, is going through the 5 stages.
Hello.
And to begin with, when they left,
Oh, and again,
that
hello.
word Mexit, there was denial, and then there was huge
Oh, my God.
amounts
How
of
many times
anger.
are they going to show
And
it?
now we're going to try and thresh
Hello.
going through the sort of bargaining depression bit, where we realise, particularly in the wake of a couple of health stories regarding our king and the future queen,
Right.
Kate, that actually
That none of the
Harry-
media are ever going to let us stop going on about, are they really, you know? Oh, Catherine's not well, the King's not well, Fergie's not well. They haven't mentioned Fergie for like 2 decades, but all of a sudden Fergie's, oh, she's best since it's brown bread. Do you get me? Or sliced bread. Let's not say brown, do you know? Capiche? Sliced bread in her case, because she's a bleeding redhead, isn't she? So I don't know what's going on. And yes, we're not going to talk about it, although they mention it every 10 minutes on every media outlet. And don't have a pop at me, because I'm not a media outlet. Go on.
Harry and Meghan are a huge loss. And then when we look at the optics...
A huge what? A huge loss? Try telling Charles's bank account that. I don't think he'd agree with you, love.
Situation
Professor
in a country
Tessa.
like Jamaica, which, by the way, isn't trying to leave the Commonwealth, Stephen. It's trying to potentially move on from being one of King Charles' realms.
So that's Professor Tessa. You know, you done a little sleight of hand there, didn't you? They're not trying to leave the Commonwealth, you know. What they're trying to do is move on from being one of Charles's realms. Well, let's leave the Commonwealth, Professor Tessa. Go on.
Just how valuable the
Do you
likes
think
of
I
Harry
am?
and Meghan's brand are. And
Come
there's
over on a
sadness.
banana boat.
I feel sad they're no longer part of the royal family.
You don't care.
Well, Richard, Tessa says
Listen, if you might have a sort of mental disorder, if you're really sad about things like that, because literally it doesn't impact on you at all, love. Well, apart from, like, being a talking head that makes your money out of coming out and commentating, you're usually having a frenzy on bleeding Piers Morgan, aren't you? Everything Piers only has to open his mouth when you go down it, don't you, my love? Yes, you do, my dear. I've seen you.
you're sort of over
Controversial Tessa.
if you like. I mean, I have to say, whereas initially the reaction that's seen with these politicians, you think, what are they playing at? There's pictures in the papers of Prince William meeting at least one of these politicians.
Yes, well, keep up, darling. He went down there on behalf of the Queen in the Jubilee year, my dear. Was it spring of the Jubilee 22? Because the poor old Queen, as we now know, but we didn't know at the time, because she kept her medical conditions silent, and so did the media keep them silent. But we know now that she was actually very, very ill, and she was trying to hold out to last for the Jubilee, because a lot of people had done a lot of planning and spent a lot of money on it. And the doctors and her were doing a lot just to get her through that damn Jubilee. So with that in mind, they sent Kate and William down to Jamaica, and because of the Oompa Loompa interview and all the other bleak nonsense that the Marklets have come out with, they got a rather cold reception, which really wasn't fair. Really was untoward and not done. It's not what's called cricket, if you know what I mean. But go on.
as well. I mean, these conversations have to be had, don't they?
No.
Oh, to be sure, but I mean, when Prince William met Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister
Right.
of Jamaica, this was in March 2022, and this was on a visit which he and Catherine made to the Caribbean. Which was
And didn't the Prime Minister's wife turn her back on them? Just buoy them off, really, and joeyed them. Yes, basically, was really quite rude. It's not even to do with disrespectful because they were royalty. They were disrespectful to them because they were guests in their country, you know. Bugger them being royalty. The way they treated those two people was an absolute disgrace. They set them up for every fall, and they had no actual say on how the tour went and what vehicles they were going to go in and what hands they were going to shake and what the situation was going to be like when they shook said hands. But all the camera angles and the operations were set up when photo opportunities were set up to make them look as bad as possible. Probably you'll find out that the Prime Minister is in with the Gobulists. The Gobulists, well, the Marklets do the Gobulist work, don't they? They think they're doing God's work, yes. Horrible little Marxists, you know what I mean?
I mean, obviously the Sussexes can do now what they like. They found freedom supposedly.
God, I wish they would. I wish they'd bugger off.
They've lost Spotify. Their accounts were not impressive. All of this means that they are looking to heighten their profile and their brand. Now, if you look at the polls, you see how they're not only rock bottom in Britain, which I don't think they care about, but in the United States. And the problem there is if they're seen as losers in Hollywood, if they have no...
Listen, William Fitzrichard or Richard Fitzwilliam, the only reason they were grifting at the bleeding Bob Marley biopic One Love premiere in Catherine Herrera's bin bag is because they didn't get bleeding invited to Jeff Bezos' birthday bash with his new broad. So they're both butthurts. They thought, well, we're going to go over and be with Bob Marley. Yeah, because Harry's friends with Bob Marley's wife or something or other that no one believes or cares about. Go on.
Specific role. If she doesn't go into politics, if they don't do a great deal of
don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. That thing in politics, you're having a bleeding granny. I cannot believe it. Really? Mind you, no, because you did have Clancy Wardozzi in America, didn't you? That old harpy. So there you go.
Yes, the Invictus Games, sure, and also Child, and also Sentibali and Asuta, but all of those he did before he was married, I would point out.
Look, we've seen their audited things. They do about an hour of work each a week, or is it between them? An hour between them, so that's half an hour a week each, work. They're not exactly what one would call pushed, are they really? You know what I mean? They're not stretched in any way. It's their own bloody damn fault. To be honest, Harry just reminds me, as I said before, of some man-child that likes to sit there with his gaming thumbs on Call of Duty day and night. Probably because he's got servants just speaking to him and getting in the mood because he just missed his shot on Call of Duty, so he probably gives them a bleeding ear bashing, doesn't he? Yes, you can go now. Get me a drink. Turn the light off. Bring me this. One of them. I mean, I get it, but he's not a prince. Yes.
As a pair,
right.
At the moment they are not succeeding, and I see...
Oh, yeah, in my situation, he's what one might call a child, and he's not playing Call of Duty. He's playing, like, Minecraft and stuff like that, but they get their knickers in a tizzy, don't they? So I just imagine that Harry is just like a grown-up man-child. I've met lots of grown-up men that just... That's their life, playing on gaming. They play Call of Duty, and then they think they're bleeding warriors. Oh, well, the thing is, they're saying that they're going to have a citizens' army in Britain because we're going to go to war, so that's going to be a laugh a minute. I'll keep you filled up with that one. I'll keep you posted. But you never know, the Basemeister might be back. He might be in the army, leading the way over the trenches. Come on, everybody, this way to the Russian trenches. Come on, follow the Bazzy.
To Jamaica as a bit of grandstanding,
Can't see that.
Which has specifically been planned because the Sussexes do absolutely nothing which isn't planned in advance very, very carefully.
They know what they're doing.
Harry may be a knight of the air because there was this rather bizarre ceremony last Friday which he participated in. She wasn't.
It's all just a complete load of hooey. I just can't be dealing with it. It's like I've been saying for over a year now. If you look on my lives and my back catalogues, we've been hurtling headlong into a Third World War, and I've said all along, those two pricks, whatever you want to call them, have all this time been a diversion. Because those two people, I don't care what people say, oh, this, that, and the other, they are not for real. I cannot believe that those two people are for real. I really do think they're a diversion and a distraction. And with that, I've said too much. Probably said a lot, probably said too much, but over and out. It's my opinion, I'm entitled to it. So bye-bye now, wherever you are. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a fantastic night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever. Have a great time. Love and hugs.